You think you know someone.
Somebody told me something.
Season 2 of Andi Mack ends in true Andi Mack fashion. Yeah, let's find out just what happened. Rise and shine on, you lovely people. Lisa here, and I can't believe we have made it to the Season 2 finale of Andi Mack. I just want to first of all say thank you to all of you who watch these and have stuck with me. I know I just started doing them in Season 2. I normally talk about other shows like Riverdale and more teen shows, stuff like that, but this was Disney Channel's, first serial show. I really loved this first season. I thought it was doing some amazing things, so I thought I would try it out, and it seems like you guys like it, and so I am forever grateful for you guys watching this, and there's a Season 3 coming, so we will get to continue this. But right now, we are focusing on the Season 2 finale. And, well, this Season 2 finale leaves us with about 2 cliffhangers of sorts. Now, one of my favorite comments on my recap for the last episode, the last video I did, I don't remember your username, and I apologize, I gotta start writing these things down, but whoever you were, you wrote that if this season ends with an well, basically, you would be pissed, and all I gotta say is, I'm sorry? So yeah, let's just not waste any time. We've got 2 main storylines in this episode. We have Cyrus, Buffy, and TJ, and then on the other hand, we have Andi, Bowie, Bex, and Cece. So let's start with the first one. So now that Cyrus has gotten Buffy and Amber to see eye to eye and resolve their issues, he's on to his next project. When Buffy's playing basketball outside of the school, Cyrus is his usual enthusiastic self, getting himself pumped up for the cheers that he's going to be giving Buffy this season when she's back on the basketball team. He is very excited, but when Buffy says she's not rejoining the team, he's kind of sad about it and asks if it's because of TJ. Cyrus then actually sticks up for TJ, saying that TJ is a changed man.
He's a completely different person. He got a C on a math test. He did? You should have seen him. It was so cute. He was running around showing everybody. He was like a little puppy who passed a math test.
Yeah, how cute is it how Cyrus was talking about TJ there? He said he was like a little puppy dog. Ugh, I love them. Tyrus, #Tyrus, right? Well, even with that, Buffy still doesn't want to play on the team with TJ. So Cyrus has to go with plan B. He brings Buffy to the gym and then runs off to get something out of his locker, leaving her in the gym by herself. But not actually by herself, because voila! TJ comes dribbling up and he shocks Buffy by actually getting the joke or the jab that she's trying to make at him.
If it isn't Machiavelli, don't hurt your brain trying to figure it out.
Machiavelli? Evil Italian politician?
Yeah, that TJ has been studying. He is a changed man. He also admits he got suspended for a few games for, saying that Buffy did his homework, and he actually hears now that she won't be on the team, and he says she's actually good. Now, of course, it's TJ, so he can't fully, not be TJ-esque, so he says she's good, but not as good as him. But he does want her to be on the team, because, well, she is good. And then, of course, Cyrus walks in, but he has come in a little bit too early for his own plan. And basically, their ambush doesn't really go how they wanted it to, but Buffy understands what's going on, and she's about ready to prove herself. She knows Cyrus has her gym clothes in that bag, and she is playing a game of one-on-one with TJ to finally prove who is better. Well, the game is neck and neck the entire time, but ultimately, Buffy pulls out the win. And TJ does make a few jokes about not telling anyone that he lost, but he actually handles this loss very well. Yeah, TJ of old days would have been a real sore loser about this, but TJ nowadays, not so much. He can joke and poke fun at it, and I love that. Now, Cyrus, he basically thinks he's won too. He's proven his point that TJ and Buffy can indeed play basketball together. And actually, if you put these two together on a team, they'd pretty much be unstoppable. But you know what? Buffy says she still can't be on the team, and Cyrus and TJ are still kind of confused, and they're like, why not? Well, because Buffy has other plans. She's basically changing the school one team at a time. Yeah, it was a big deal when she got permission and was able to play on the boys team, and now she's gotten permission to actually start a girls basketball team.
Driscoll? You got moves.
Then as they're leaving the school, Cyrus is feeling pretty good about how his plan worked out, and he thinks now they can all be friends. Now Buffy, of course, she still is pretty hesitant since TJ did do some pretty dang awful things to her and that are a little harder to forgive. And she even says that she thinks that maybe she has forgiven TJ, but she doesn't know if she can necessarily forget and be friends with him. The only way it could possibly happen is if TJ somehow pulls out the ultimate apology, like the best apology known to man. Well, TJ, he doesn't shy away from a challenge, right?
The slickest, sickest, quickest, the most wicked in the world. Used to hate her, instigate her, told her good job for a girl. I didn't want to hear it, but she taught me all the same. If you want to change the world, then you gotta change the game.
Yeah, how sweet was that rap? Like, sweet because I actually thought it was pretty good because, well, I can't rap, so anybody that can actually sort of hold their own rapping is awesome. But also sweet in what he actually said about Buffy. Like, all those things he made up, supposedly, on the fly, you know, in the scenario that we have here. And that means that he actually has liked Buffy this whole time. Like, he probably thought she was a good person. He just had his little tough guy exterior on. But now, they're all good. The apology was the best apology ever, and they've made up, and now they're, yeah, on good terms. And TJ walks away as Buffy and Cyrus watch him go. And they're both kind of confused about what's going on here, or how they got here, or how they should be feeling about TJ and whatever. And then we see TJ look back over his shoulder. And if you've watched Andi Mack, which I'm guessing you have since you're watching a recap 2 seasons in, the whole looking over your shoulder thing, we've seen that before. We've seen someone say, if they like you, they'll look back over at you. And we saw that with Andi and Cyrus and Jonah with that whole thing way back when. So, is TJ looking back over his shoulder because he likes one of these two romantically, or because he likes them because he now has new friends? What's going on here?
You think you know someone.
Until you find out that you don't.
But I will save the majority of my commentary for this portion until after I run through this other storyline so we can talk about the meat of these episodes. So moving on, we have Bex and Andi who are trying to find the perfect ring to use to propose to Bowie with, and they end up finding one with the yin-yang on it. Brings me back to my middle school days when that's what I used to draw on my binders. But yeah, it's a perfect symbol for Bowie because, well, you know, it's about balance and harmony and, well, the universe. They then devise a plan to invite Bowie over for dinner, and they're gonna hide this ring in a cake. And of course, they're gonna mark it so they know where it is so no one breaks their teeth. And they head over to the record store to invite Bowie. Now, after baking their cake, they've made such a mess in the kitchen that they devise another plan. They're gonna send Cece out on a hotel spa day trip, and they're gonna take over her kitchen and actually cook a full meal. Yeah, at first when I heard this and saw this, I was like, wait, these two totally can't cook. They're always ordering pizza or asking Bowie or Cece or someone to cook for them. So if they can magically cook and don't address that, that's gonna be super weird. But thankfully, they did address it.
I thought we couldn't cook. Turns out we were just lazy.
Yeah, this is a part of the show I actually find really relatable in my life because I'm basically too lazy to cook, but I feel like if I wasn't lazy, I might actually be able to cook, but we may never know. And by we, I mean I may never know until I actually try. But moving on, when Bowie shows up for dinner, he's on time and the girls are kind of nervous but ready. But things then turn awkward because, surprise, Bowie has unexpected visitors with them. And thank goodness it is not Miranda and Morgan, because that's what I think a lot of us first thought when the synopsis for this episode was put out a few weeks ago, that there would be unexpected visitors at this dinner. It's not them, it's actually the Renaissance Boys, yeah, the band that Bowie plays with sometimes. Now, they do offer to go somewhere else, you know, if they're intruding, but Andi and Bex, they're just kind of too nice and don't know what to do at this moment in time. So yeah, dinner time just got a lot bigger and the panic is starting to set in. So much so that Bex and Andi are, you know, debating whether to go through with this proposal or not. And dinner is going fine until Cece shows up mad that they basically kicked her out of her own house to throw a party. When Bex and Andi actually tell Cece what they're planning to do to propose, Cece's attitude completely changes and she is on board and is like, what are you waiting for? But then, continually as expected, things continue to go wrong. Before Andi and Bex can even ask Bowie the big question, one of the band members basically gets down on one knee with a guitar pick, takes all the thunder, and asks Bowie to go on tour with them, an international tour for 6 months. Now, surprisingly, Bowie says he can't because he just met Andi and he's still trying to get to know her and he's making a life there. But in another turn of events, it's Andi and Bex who tell Bowie he has to go because this is his lifelong dream. So Bowie's like, can I think about it? But the thing is, he only has a few hours to do so before the band has to leave. So now the girls go back into the kitchen for another huddle and of course, arguing ensues. Now they fight over whether to go ahead and propose or not. Andi thinks they should and then let Bowie decide what to do and tell him he should still go on the tour, while Bex thinks that if they propose, Bowie won't even consider going at all. So during all this annoying kind of fighting, Cece ends up pulling the toothpick out of the cake that they used to mark where the ring is because she thought it was a mistake. But now the girls are panicking even more because the guys think it's cake time, and they run into the other room, and Bex, she doesn't know what to do, so she just starts digging her hands into the cake to find the ring, saying they're just crumbling the cake and that's how it's supposed to be served. So Andi joins in, and then Bowie's like, I gotta help, and he dives in as well. And well, it's kind of left up to the universe of sorts as to who finds this ring first. And what do you know? It is Bowie who finds the ring. And when he asks what it is,
Somebody tell me something.
Yeah, not one, not two, but three ums. Granted, the third is a question of what the first two meant. But that's it. That's cut, scene, end of the season. So yeah, the typical kind of cliffhanger here when it comes to these big life questions on Andi Mack. Will you be my boyfriend? Will you marry me? Yeah, all end with ums. They don't know any other words for these. But I'm kind of surprisingly with Andi with this argument that she was having with Bex. I think they should propose, show him how much they care about him, that they want him in their life, but also say, but we also know how important this tour is to you, so go, and then when you come back, we'll be a family. Because if you think about it, it's not like they're getting married the next day, right? You can have a long engagement, you can wait 6 months until after the tour, just like Cece said, lock it down. Yeah, you can kind of have the best of both worlds here. So I'm pulling for them to still propose and then let Bowie go on tour. As much as I like Bowie being around, I think he should go on tour. Live his dreams. You can have both. But that's actually not the cliffhanger I'm most invested in. I'm more invested and interested in this whole TJ looking over his shoulder thing and Cyrus and Buffy both being kind of confused about what's going on and like both looking at TJ as well. So who is TJ looking at? I know there's an overwhelming amount of people who want it to be Cyrus. I'm kind of with them. But the last few episodes, we've also had this storyline building with Buffy and who her crush is. It's kind of a mystery. They've made it seem like it's Jonah. They've made it seem like it is Walker. And now they're kind of making it seem like it is TJ. It's like, come on, girl, make up your mind. But I feel like that's also realistic to what like 13-year-olds kind of are from what I remember being 13. It's kind of like, oh, a cute guy. Or if a guy's nice to you, you're kind of like, I like them. So it's kind of believable that she would have a crush on 3 different guys, but maybe she doesn't have a crush on 3 different guys. There was the point in one of the episodes when Cyrus was guessing that it was Jonah that Buffy said whatever it was, nothing could happen because of Andi. So that really only makes sense if applied to Walker and Jonah. I don't think Andi would care if Buffy liked TJ, if TJ apologized to Buffy and TJ were good. I think Andi would be okay with that. So I'm still leaning that it has to be something to do with Walker or Jonah. I'm kind of heavily more leaning towards Walker because I feel like that would have less of a repercussion. Like, I don't think Andi would be as hurt about that. Of course, if Buffy had a crush on her current boyfriend, that would be a big deal, you know? And I feel like they're doing this just to like get us a little bit mad to make those feelings be like, no, TJ is looking at Cyrus, but maybe he's looking at Buffy. They just want you to have these thoughts to mess with us. That's what these episodes do. They kind of mess with you until they decide to actually tell you what is going on here. But all in all, I do kind of am leaning, like I said, I think a lot of us are leaning more towards TJ, looking back at Cyrus and, you know, Cyrus and TJ having a crush on each other because they've had such a cool relationship this entire season. Cyrus has been the good guy in TJ's life who has helped TJ, you know, turn from a bully into actually an okay guy. You know, people can change. You just need someone in your life to believe in you and to be good to you. And I think these two are really good examples of that. Now, whether it gets romantic or not, I am still rooting for this relationship to be a friendship, to see more of this in the next season. And then if they want to turn it into something more, I'm not mad at that either. Because you know what? They've kind of done Cyrus dirty, I feel like. Disney Channel made a big move having Cyrus be their first LGBTQ main character on a show. But they haven't done much with that. I mean, yes, he had the realization he had a crush on Jonah. He had the coming out scenes with both Buffy and Andi. But after that, nothing has really been mentioned until a few episodes ago when Cyrus was like, my crush on Jonah's over. You know, that's kind of it. Everything else has been put to the wayside. We had other things going on with Cyrus's life, you know, which is important too, but I think making such a big move with this character, you gotta do something with him. So hopefully they are saving that for season 3 because, you know, they gotta do it soon, right? Disney Channel shows, for the most part, get 3 seasons. Unless they're really bad, then they only get 2. And then if they're super, super good, they get 4. And I'm kind of leaning towards Andi Mack being one of their most popular shows right now, that it would get 4. But season 3, they really got to work on Cyrus. They got to give him some more meatier things to do than just be everybody's best friend. Like, he needs a full-on, you know, storyline that focuses on him. We had Buffy and her moving. We've had Andi and all her drama. Now it's Cyrus's turn. So I think if they do go with Cyrus and TJ, that'll be a really big deal. That'll be a big thing, especially it would be kind of a coming out for TJ as well, which would give them 2 characters. TJ's not exactly a series regular, so he's not a main character, but it would still be a big deal. And I'm not saying they need to go all, let's break every barrier and whatever, and it's still a kid's show. It has to be done tastefully. I don't know if there would be a kiss, because, you know, even the main characters took 2 seasons to kiss. There's not a lot of kissing on Disney shows, period. So I don't even think we need to see that. But even a date or a handhold, you know, that would be a really big step. So basically what I'm trying to say is I'm rooting for TJ and Cyrus, and hopefully this is just a misdirect, and then Buffy's having a crush on someone else, and then Buffy's gonna help TJ and Cyrus. That would be really cute. Because you know what? I don't need any more love triangles on this show. They've already had so many teen dramas. There's some teen dramas that don't even have that many love triangles. But rant over now, I think. But yeah, season 2, that is a wrap. We started off with a proposal and an and we're ending it off with a planned proposal that turned into a bunch of ums. So that raises a lot of questions. What do you think Andi and Bex will end up doing? Will they propose? If they do, will Bowie say yes? And will Bowie even go on tour? How do you think that is all going to play out? Also, who do you think TJ's looking back at? Who do you think Buffy is crushing on? What do you think is going to happen with her girls' basketball team? There's a lot of things to think about here, to fester and let ponder in our minds until season 3 finally comes our way, which I actually don't know when that is. It could be very late 2018 this year, or it could be early next year. We will have to wait and see. But you know, I'll let you know when it's coming back. But now you know what to do. Hit me up down in the comments and let me know all your thoughts on the season, on the finale, all those questions I proposed, and like I said, what you want to see in season 3. After that, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss my Andi Mack recaps when they come back, plus any other shows that I recap. And I got a lot of interviews coming your way very soon, possibly this week. I got interviews with In Real Life, the cast of To All the Boys I've Loved Before, Hayden Byerly, a lot of things. So don't miss those. And again, thank you so much for watching these recaps and hanging out with me and talking all things Andi Mack. I'll see you again real soon.